Battlefront II, how DICE took multiplayer far beyond the original title. Star Wars Battlefront II debuts on November 17th as one of the biggest video games of the year. One of its hallmarks are bigger and better multiplayer modes compared to the original, multiplayer-only, Star Wars Battlefront from 2015. Electronic Arts DICE, Criterion, and Motive Studios have been working hard on the massive game for the simultaneous launch on the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. EA showed the full multiplayer mode to us at a review event at EA's headquarters in Redwood City, California. I played every mode at the event and then interviewed two of the multiplayer leaders, Paul Keslin, producer at EA DICE, and Pete Lake, producer at Criterion. They say that Battlefront II's multiplayer is about the fantasy of being a trooper, pilot, or hero in the Star Wars universe. It mixes all the characters and soldiers from all Star Wars time periods and results in crazy experiences, such as the Heroes vs. Villains mode where 4 heroes, like Luke Skywalker or Rey, square off against villains like Kylo Ren and Darth Vader. Overall, multiplayer is much deeper with Battlefront II. The experience starts easy with arcade mode, which is a solo or co-op experience, where you can explore the character's capabilities and learn how to play. You can graduate to flying starfighters and starfighter assault or take objectives in strike mode. But I loved the massive 20 vs 20 galactic assault mode, where you take multiple objectives from the enemy in a narrated battle. I interviewed Keslin and Lake, and we talked about the design of multiplayer and tips for how to play. This first interview focuses on the design, and the second will deal with the tips. I've also embedded a video capture of a starfighter assault battle. Here's an edited transcript of our interview. Above, Pete Lake, left, producer at Criterion, and Paul Keslin, producer at DICE, worked on Star Wars Battlefront II's multiplayer. GamesBeat, from a design standpoint, how did you start collaborating on multiplayer and ultimately get to a design? Paul Keslin, for most of the time, we knew that we always wanted a good partner. We had worked with Criterion on the VR mission for the first Battlefront. They do amazing vehicle work. From a DICE perspective, when we set out to make this game, we wanted to look to some experts that could really lend a great creative eye and design eye to starfighters in a way that I don't think we could begin to approach. They're just so knowledgeable in that area. That's the start of it. Pete Lake, it's been great to come on board and work with DICE on this. We had a good experience before. Something that's worked well for us. It's not just about sending people from Criterion over the pond to Sweden to work at DICE. It's about how we divide this game up into ownable pieces. DICE were delivering all the multiplayer on the troopers, and it was our responsibility to deliver great vehicles and new game modes alongside that. We took DICE's lead on what multiplayer means in Battlefront. Keslin, it wasn't just that we threw them something and left it off in a corner until we needed it ourselves. It was constant communication. Pete and I have traveled back and forth to each other's offices a lot. It's about how we work together and create something together. Lake, that crosses all 3 studios. There's no element of the game that is isolated. The trooper combat is everywhere in the game, whether it's in campaign or multiplayer. The starfighter combat is the same, whether you're in campaign or galactic assault or starfighter assault. We're trying to make, together, a very consistent experience for the player. GamesBeat, it seemed like one of the goals was just to make something bigger. Lake, at a very basic level, yeah. The Star Wars universe is so epic. It means something different to all the different fans of Star Wars. I'm of a classic generation, an older guy, and I grew up with the original trilogy. But you talk to people through this job and you find out that their entry point into Star Wars was the prequels or the Clone Wars TV series. There's people you meet now who don't know what an A-Wing is because they've never seen the original trilogy. It's been amazing to work on the scale of this game across the studios to deliver something for everyone. Keslin, myself as well. I grew up with the original trilogy, but the prequel trilogy opened the door for so many opportunities for battle-style gameplay. It was really a galaxy at war at that point. There's a lot of things it gives us the opportunity to pull from. It's an area we can really open up and explore. But we'll always start off with things that are familiar to a wide audience, and we'll continue to grow that over time. Above, you can play as Iden Versio in multiplayer for Star Wars Battlefront II. GamesBeat. Is there some